Pastor Damon, Impact Life Church. The word of the Lord today comes to us speaking about our minds, more specifically, the mind of our spirit. Bible refers to the mind of our spirit as really the insight to what type of spirit we have. Some people are said to have a fighting spirit. Some people have a loving spirit. Some people have a very generous spirit. Some people have a compassionate spirit. But the mind of our spirit speaks to God knowing the innermost parts of us, God knowing what makes us tick, God knowing what we're afraid of, God knowing what motivates us, God knowing what empowers us, God knowing what gets us to the end result that He has for us. Any good coach has to know how to push his players, how to get through to his players. Any good leader in business has to understand how to get the most out of the person that you're leading. And it's no different with God. God knows us very well. He knows our hearts. He knows our desires. He knows our motives. He knows everything about us. And so it's that same God that knows how to get us to where we need to be. He knows how to get our minds right. He knows how to get through to us. He knows how to push through our walls. He knows how to break through our defenses. He knows how to get close even when we're trying to keep Him afar. And so today, our word is from the Lord, speaking to getting our minds right. We'll be in Romans, the 8th chapter, verse number 24, down through verse 27. Again, that's Romans, the 8th chapter, verse number 24, down through 27. It speaks to us, for we are saved by hope. For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? 25 says, but if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities. For we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And lastly, verse 27, and he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according. Again, verse 24 opens up by talking to us about hope. It encourages us and affirms that we're saved by hope, that it takes hope to see what you're not yet able to be. It takes hope to realize something that is not yet realizable. It takes hope to grasp something that may seem to be unattainable. It takes hope to get in shape. You got to believe that if you do the right things, that the end result will be worth it. It takes hope to achieve something that is not yet attainable. And so that's why the scriptures tell us that we're saved by hope. That is, when we were in darkness, or when we were failing, or when we couldn't control our desires, when our habits, our bad habits, were running out of control, that it took a hope in something greater than yourself, Jesus Christ. It took a hope to latch on to something stronger than yourself, Jesus Christ. It took hope to become what was unattainable. It took hope to reach out and grab Christ and say, save me. Help me, fix me, deliver me. These things are rooted in hope, and that hope in Christ is what saves us. And so that same hope we get, by the time we get down to verse number 26, we see the scriptures say, likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities. That same hope that it took to allow God's help to change your life, to fix you, that same hope that it took to allow God to lift you out of a dark place, that likewise the Spirit is also wanting to help you with your infirmities. That same Spirit is also wanting to help you, lift you, improve you, better you, strengthen you, make you more than you are now, just like the hope that takes to save you. Likewise, the Spirit is wanting to help you with your infirmities. Very often, the Spirit of God nudges us, meddles with us, needles us, to get us to finally listen to the voice that is trying to help us. It's a very foolish thing for someone who ignores wisdom. It's a very foolish thing to someone who ignores instruction. Proverbs speaks to that. It's a very foolish thing to ignore the Spirit of the Lord when He's trying to help. So that same Spirit that's trying to help with our infirmities, that's trying to help with the things that God's been trying to get us to do better, or to stop doing, or to improve upon, He knows what makes you tick. He knows who you are. So He's talking about the power and the strength of the mind that He gave us. Not that the power is in our mind, but the power is in the Spirit that He gave us. It's in the mind of the Spirit that He gave us. Later in this chapter, Romans 8, the question is asked in verse 35 that who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation, shall distress, shall persecution, shall famine, shall any of these things? Well, the truth is it's going to separate somebody. Somebody's going to quit. Question is asking is it going to be something that you don't have? Is it lack that you may experience that's going to make you quit? Is it a problem that you have? Is it a relationship that you have? Is it the feeling of being isolated and lonely? Is it the feeling of feeling like you're on your own? Verse 36 answers the question by saying, no. In all these things, we are more than conquerors. How do we become more than conquerors? By having the right mindset, but having our minds made up, but having a warrior mindset that's committed, that's being able to say, it doesn't matter what I have to go through, doesn't matter what I'm encountering, doesn't matter what I'm faced with, but I'm bringing that more than a conqueror mindset to my walk with God. That in all these things, that we are more than conquerors. And I'm persuaded, meaning that I'm so committed, my mind is so made up, that my mind is so in tune with the will of God, that I'm not going to let anything separate me from this love. That I don't care if it's death, I don't care if it's life, I don't care if it's angels, I don't care if it's the things in the spirit realm, I don't care if it's things in the natural realm, I don't care if it's things present or things to come, that my mind is connected to the power of God. Moreover, my mind is powered by God. Therefore, I'm more than a conqueror. We have the ability to be so tuned in to God that our mind be so connected to Him. The scriptures say, let this mind be in you that is also in Christ Jesus. That it doesn't matter if it's something coming, if it's something present, if it's something in the natural world, if it's something in the spiritual world, my mind is persuaded. My mind is made up. My mind is right, that I'm going all the way with God. Blessings. I'm Pastor Damon. God bless you, Impact Life Church.